Thanks, Jeff. Well, the first quarter of this race is in the books. We're at 125 miles of this 500 miler, and Jeff Gordon has thoroughly dominated this race. He's led 49 of the 64 laps.
And we're seeing a few cars hit pit road, but it was cars that was at the back of the field. We're actually on one to go now. We'll be getting green when we come back around. There's J.J. Yaley in the 96 car coming to pit road, as well as John Andretti, Dave Blaney, and Kyle Petty.
Jamie McMurray as well making a stop as we get ready to go back to green. Two Hendrick Chevys in front of the Roush Fenway Ford of Carl Edwards. The Gillette Evernham Dodge of Casey Kane. The Childress Chevy of Jeff Burton. Greg Biffle's Ford and the Gibbs Toyota of Kyle Busch are the front seven.
I still say that if the 99, if I look at the best lap by the 99 and the 24, 99 ran a 30.509 and Jeff ran a 39.515. So lap times, best lap to best lap, they're real close.
Steve?
Mike, Casey Kane likes his car. In the last pit stop, they made some adjustments. He said, hey guys, you really helped hook the rear end up. Give me a little bit more of that, and I'll get to the front.
Darkness has settled over San Bernardino County, as you see from the Goodyear blimp. Aerial coverage tonight brought to you by Goodyear. Track tested technology, Goodyear innovation.
We still have 36 cars on the lead lap.
Ready for the restart. We're under green.
Let's watch this 24 car this time as he goes through 1 and 2. Darrell pointed out that's where he's been so strong, is when he gets that launch off turn 2.
Well, baby, he's got some giddy up off turn 2 over there. And I just want to make a point real quick. These race fans, they have been out here since earlier today, and they're every one of them are still here, and there's a pretty good bunch of them too, and they're hanging right in there with us. Thank you, fans, for being patient with everything and hanging in there.
Absolutely. Jimmy Johnson at 48, Jeff Gordon's teammate, he stayed with him. In fact, closed up a little bit off turn 2 that time.
I just believe there are 2 or 3 cars, Jimmy, and the 99 particularly of Carl Edwards. If they can make enough pit stops, get a few cautions here, adjust up a little bit, they may be able to race that 24 car.
Now watch his speed right here getting off into turn 1.
Oh, don't make me look.
205 miles per hour, a little bit of brake. Now off the throttle, not even under 150, right back to 160 when he picked that throttle up wide open.
You see that all green for all that throttle? You're going to see more green because Kyle Busch is coming. He got Greg Biffle for 6th place and had to work for it.
So this is what I've been waiting for, somebody to get that high line working, because I believe when you, oh, look at that cut, that guy can do that. Man, he can move that race car around. But when you get that high line working, that's going to open up a lot of options for some other guys, I believe, and it's slowly coming in.
Matt?
No adjustments, Mike, the last time on pit road for Kyle Busch in the 18, but he is multitasking, making notes for when we come back Labor Day weekend here to Fontana. He says this racetrack is getting to be a lot like the old Darlington Raceway, really rough. Make that note so we know how to adjust for it next time.
Well, it's 57 degrees right now, and when he come back here next time, it's probably 157 degrees if it's like it normally is out here.
Absolutely no question.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit different animal again.
These two guys are going at it, though. Kyle Busch just can't complete the pass. When you're up on the high line, you just keep the thing wound up. You keep the RPM up on the car.
Busch makes the pass. He used that drop down off the banking off turn number 4 to get the move on Biffle, and now sets his sights on Jeff Burton, the 5th place car.
Larry, those 2 tires on Burton's car didn't look too good there against those 4 brand new ones, but it's kind of leveled off now, and it will for a little while, but he'll pay the price later.
Yeah, he doesn't need a long green flag run, but it's like once the air pressure's caught up, then the car came to him just a little bit.
Kyle Busch and Greg Biffle both each ran their fastest lap of the race last lap when they were battling side by side. Dick?
Well, Greg Biffle has had a fast car all day today, Mike, but he has had problems on pit road. In the last 2 stops, he has lost 5 and 4 positions respectively. His over-the-wall crew was brand new last week at the Daytona 500. The only man over the wall left over from last year the catch can man.
Caution's out. Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, man, keep it up there if you can. Keep it up there if you can.
Keep it up there.
All right, get going as soon as you can. Get going as soon as you can.
There's somebody else sitting back there behind him, too. I saw another car nose into the picture.
Now, Elliott was running in the 16th position. He was racing there with David Gilliland and David
Pretty
Reagan.
bad in the back end, guys.
Yeah, got a lot of damage.
Now, Robbie Gordon had gotten against the wall.
Just trying to miss the 7. I got up in the crowd.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, Robbie took 2 tires on his last stop. I didn't think that was a real good idea because that car wasn't handling all that great anyway. Let's see what happens here. There's Robbie. He just about goes around.
Now, the 19 was up high, about 10 car lengths behind Robbie Gordon.
Well, he saw Robbie get loose, thought Robbie was going to smack the fence, kind of took an evasive action and ended up hurting himself.
Now, Denny Hamlin is back in the race.
He just went back out on the racetrack.
And was just kind of running around down in the bottom of the apron when that happened. There's the caution lights out as you watch from Casey Kane. And we're under yellow once again. In fits and starts, we've gotten to 70 laps. 180 to go and 55 to halfway, which would make this race official.
And this will be interesting. It's been 11 laps since they were on pit road because we didn't pit that last caution. We have 3 cautions, so we have about 8 green flag laps on our tires, but we've seen what 2 tires did after only running about 10 laps.
Yeah, 2's not the hot tip, but again, I just want to point out every car, not every car, but the majority of the cars have got something stuck on the nose of them. I saw one go by there with a whole windshield tear off stuck to it.
Who's coming? Well, just about everybody. Krista?
Only 7 laps on these tires, so they were deciding for Carl Edwards whether they're going to keep these on. No, they're going to go with 4 tires. Also, Carl says he has something on his grill. They're going to get that off because he was overheating. Dick.
Greg Biffle also going to take just 2 tires. He too has debris on the grill. We'll see if the crew catches it or not on the way by. Matt.
For about the first stop today, Jeff Gordon's grill looks clean. He does have a piece of a tear-off hooked on one of the struts for the splitter. And the 18 of Kyle Busch, they do indeed go 4 tires. They were debating, Steve.
4 tires for Jimmy Johnson, Matt. He says, help me in the center. Help me turn half pound of air out of the left side tires.
Jamie McMurray and J.J. Yaley stayed out on the racetrack and did not pit.
Even in the pits, how aggressive you have to be. You got to get in your box. You got to get your work done, and you got to tear out of there. There's no relaxing at any point in time.
Remember, McMurray and Yaley pitted under that last caution. Looks like to me, Greg Biffle, which they talked about, and Kevin Harvick as well in the 29, looked like those guys elected to go with just 2 right side tires.
And, oh, look at that big piece on Jamie Mack's car.
That's the piece I saw there a minute ago. I mean, that's a whole windshield tear off.
Yeah, and you can't run that way. If they've seen this, unfortunately,
you're going to have to pit.
There you go. Larry Carter.
I'm going to put 4 tires. Unless you can get up behind that 88 and see if it'll come off.
There
he goes. Mission
nice
accomplished.
job. Go on, Larry Carter.
There's our Ford moves to the race. Jamie McMurray will be posted as the leader when they come around. Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards in the top 10.
I think that was the Forward move of the race right there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The question is, where'd it go?
Whose grill did it get on?
Somebody. There it is right there.
Now look at that asphalt. You don't see the weepers coming out of those seams like we did before. You see a couple of almost a little bit of dampness there, but nothing like before.
That right there is a prime example. Remember, Jeff and Darrell talked about it in the pre-race about communication staying off the radio. If they'd have been jabbered on the radio right there, Larry and Jamie would not have been able to communicate about what he needed to do right there.
Now, how do we know that's a windshield tear-off? Because it's a piece of clear plastic and it's got a little tab of colored tape attached to it, which helps determine the order those things get torn off in and makes them easy to tear off.
There can be as many as 5 or 6 of those tear-offs on your windshield, and every chance you get, you try to pull one of them off to give the driver a clear view.
Darrell, this race, from a strategy standpoint, you're treating it like the old Darlington. The caution comes out, you better come to pit road and get 4 tires no matter how many laps, fewer or less, that you've run.
It's all the weather. You know, it just couldn't never get any rubber in the racetrack, and we saw it Daytona last week. When there wasn't any rubber in the racetrack, tires gave a problem. But here tonight, it's just wearing.
72 laps complete. When they come back around, the green is going to come out. We're going back to green. Jamie McMurray and J.J. Yaley pitted on the last caution. They did not come in, so they'll be out in front of Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon.
This is about as deep as Jeff Gordon has been all night long. I don't think he'll stay there long, back in the 6th position.
No, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen him get back into traffic a little wee bit and can't get his way back to the front. So tonight I don't think I'll have that problem, but we'll see.
And right behind Gordon is former teammate Kyle Busch. Then Carl Edwards, Mark Martin, and Bobby Labonte is the highest Dodge in the race. That's your top 10 as we get ready to go back to green to begin lap 74. How about a little California crank it up?
Out here, you got to really crank it up.
Greg Biffle has taken off, but look at this battle for second place and third as Kyle Busch comes steaming around the outside.
He's got that outside line working, and I knew that sooner or later that would come in, and that's going to be a real help to these guys trying to pass people. Everybody's fighting for the bottom. You got nowhere to go, but once that high line comes in a little bit, man, you can sail around the outside and keep up a lot of momentum and really go.
There you see our Fox tracks. Greg Biffle in the 16 car, the leader that stayed out on the last caution, but it pitted the one before. 48 car of Jimmy Johnson back there in second right now.
Now Jeff Gordon restarted, was it 7th or 6th?
Sixth.
Only gotten one spot up to 5th place. Let's hear what Gordon had to say during the caution flag.
It's like I'm racing on a dodgeball court, man. I'm having to touch all this debris out here. Keep dodging it again. It's caught a lot of people.